ever since Muslims first arrived in Canada from Lebanon over 100 years ago, and most recently during the past 30 years, they've developed faith communities. Today, Muslims arriving from all over the world, like most immigrants, seek out individuals or groups they can identify with. Those who share their beliefs, their culture, their language, or their faith.
The mosque, or masjid, has always been the focal point for the Muslim community. Traditionally, and since the time of Muhammad, the mosque has been more than just a place of prayer. It's been a community center of sorts, a place where men, women, and children of all ages can come and learn about faith, socialize at events such as weddings, or take part in recreational and sports activities.
This is Tariq Mosque. We want to help you with our Muslim community. This is a community for all brothers and sisters. You're welcome. Enjoy. Play basketball. This is a Muslim community. If you want to come here, come to the Mosque Tariq on Fridays. That is 7 o'clock to 9:30.
Muslims are in an ongoing process of establishing religious centers to meet their needs. Fayoun Khan, a spokesperson for the British Columbia Muslims, describes this challenge.
We're here in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. Can you tell us a little bit about this mosque that's going up?
This is the Tri-City Mosque and Islamic Center project that's about 6 months away from completion. It's located in the city of Port Coquitlam, which is about 20 kilometers east of Vancouver. It is the only mosque in this area. Initially, there was when the community bought the property, there was a small house in the middle of it, and the initial intention was to utilize it as an Islamic center until sufficient funds were available to build a mosque. However, when the neighborhood found out that there was a Muslim place of worship coming up in the neighborhood, they were very strongly opposed to it. There's a lot of negative publicity given to the site, and as a result, the house suffered an arson attack and was burnt down. The community decided at that point to build a mosque, and again, there was a wave of negative publicity surrounding that. There was a petition that was presented to City Council opposing the mosque, and a lot of negative publicity in the media as well. There's a radio station that used the opportunity to mock Islam and Muslims. However, there's a silver lining to that. The project was approved by City Council unanimously. And, what we see here as a result of that, it's 6 months away from completion. Despite the negative publicity, initially the neighborhood was now quite supportive of the project. And there's been quite a number of people who have actually embraced Islam as well as a result of their interest in asking questions about what Islam is, and the awareness that's been raised as a result of the building going on.
Soon after mosques were built, Muslims, like many members of Canada's immigrant community, began to develop other religious and cultural institutions, like stores selling food and clothing from their cultural homelands, halal meat packaging plants to satisfy the need for Islamic dietary regulations, Islamic housing and banking to avoid interest, and most recently, schools to help foster an Islamic environment where children can learn and practice their religion and still attain their curriculum. Muslims of Canada are, for the most part, grateful for the opportunities Canada provides, opportunities some Muslims did not have in their home countries, such as jobs, economic growth, education, and a higher standard of living.
I have a very strong belief to raise a family is the best country on earth to raise a family. You have a constitution second to none. You have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and those is what you need for your family, for yourself, and you're not afraid. You're not fearful of anything. When you come in here, you know you're in safe haven. You know your family is safe. You know if you say something, you're not going to be prosecuted.
Although newcomers discover many benefits to life in Canada, their adjustment to a new culture can be very painful. Social worker Shahina Siddiqui had counseled many first and second generation Muslim immigrants.
Or during their establishing themselves, they're also trying to find an identity for themselves. And this can take sometimes up to 5 to 10 years for people, for some people to recognize the Canadian values, to try to integrate into the Canadian society. But the new immigrants, many of us are hyphenated Canadians, so we still kind of maintain two identities and seem to have found some sort of an equilibrium. But with the second generation, they do not identify themselves. They want to fit in with the mainstream, and yet find that they are different. They also have the added stress of what parents expect from them.
Zahir Alvi came to Canada with his family in 1970 and has had to face the many challenges of raising Muslim children in a new environment.
The values outside are very much different than what Islamic values are. And quite often they would ask me a question like, why can't we have a bottle of beer here? Or my friends, they are all, having a good time outside and dating, and you say I shouldn't date. So this was difficult for them. This was difficult for us to explain to them then why we do what we do.